Spirit whom the Father sends will come and teach you everything your human heart most needs. That's quite a promise. We live in a Spirit-infused world. A world where it's impossible to get away from God. We may not be aware of it. We may not be paying any attention whatsoever. We may not even really want to be reminded that we live our lives in God's presence. Coram Deo, as Luther used to say. Doesn't happen. God's presence isn't dependent upon us. It depends only on God's desire to live and breathe through every moment and every experience of life. And this divine promise is not a threat. The God that we worship and whom we come into relationship is not Santa who's looking around to see who's naughty and nice, Rebecca. Gotcha. Not snooping about. The living presence of God is a holy and joyful gift that we can unwrap and enjoy every day with each new sunrise if we but open our eyes and our hearts and our ears and notice. Take Tuesday. The day was bright, the sky blue, the sun golden and warm, finally breaking the gloom of a spring determined to deprive us of vitamin D. I was driving west on 75th Street as a John Deere tractor headed east. The tractor was tilting along the road ditch, mowing grass thick, tall, and greener than the tractor itself. As it made its way in the sunlight, the light glinted gold off the tractor cab, and in a moment, it just struck me. How gorgeous it all is, such mornings. Everything. And I felt totally one, united, connected with whoever was in the cab of that tractor, and I was totally one with the greening of the earth, warming under the morning sun. And I was aware not only in my mind, but with my whole body kind of awareness, that I, and you for that matter, are connected with everything else. The sky, the grass, the trees, the sun, the person mowing the ditch, the other drivers going who knows where, all of us there, one, connected, in a unity of life, where what touches one thing affects everything else. We were there, participants in a great drama called Living. And there was an awareness of love. Not just of union, but of love. The joy of an overflowing love for everything I saw, the earth, the new day, the grass so green, the sky so blue, and for all of those other drivers that I will never know, all of us there connected, as I say, participants in a great drama of life. And I loved it, all of it, with a love that is a gift. A gift of the God who is the source of everything I saw and so much more. And this love is the Spirit Jesus promises and sends us. The Spirit of God's love for all things, and that love in that moment was breathing in me and through me and for me, and drawing me into communion, connection with everything I saw, awakening a love and joy and a care for all that lives. That's Jesus' promise. He promises this for those who love him, those who want to be near him, those who want to know what's in him, those who just want to know who he is, that seek to know me, and I and my heavenly Father, he says, will come and will dwell with you and in you. And what he is saying is that our own physical bodies can be inhabited and infused by his Spirit that is a love that is greater than any we can manufacture on our own. And that love, that Spirit comes. And it can surprise. Even in moments when it seems nothing special is happening, like when you're driving to work on 75th Street. And in an instant, the Spirit teaches you everything Jesus is about. That's not just me, it's all of us. You know the Spirit, I know the Spirit, you've felt the Spirit, as have I. You've been blessed by people who bear and live and breathe that kind of Spirit. You feel that Spirit every time the inner voice of love enlarges your heart to embrace the world with an expansive, welcoming, open love and joy. God's Spirit is the Spirit of love that seeks unity with us and with all creation, and seeks to create that unity. It awakens gratitude for the joy of simply being alive. It is a spirit of generosity that moves us beyond our narrow confines to care for the outcast, the hungry, the addicted, the refugee who is homeless at our borders, those who suffer prejudice and injustice because of the color of their skin, the nature of their sexuality, or whatever their politics might be. The Spirit that is God's living, loving presence draws us into deeper communion, deeper friendship with everything and everyone else in the world, with the beauty and the brokenness of creation, and with people of all kinds and places with whom we are privileged to share this gorgeous planet. But because that Spirit inhabits and infuses us and the world, we do have decisions to make about how we shall live. Because just as the Spirit of the living and loving God is at work in us, even in our mortal flesh, there's also an anti-spirit at work in the world that shrinks our hearts and makes us smaller as human beings, stingier, cynical, and slimy. You don't have to look very far in the paper or the news to realize there's a spirit of jealousy and anger, envy and quarreling, a spirit of blaming and discord that is constantly trying to divide the world into camps, us and them, white and black and brown and gay and straight and conservative and liberal and Republican and Democrat, and trying to bifurcate the world into camps that compete with one another for the blessings of life. There's a spirit active in the world that seeks itself and demands its rights regardless of what it means for other people. That assumes the right to pollute the world with its garbage, its anger, and its bigotry. Even on beautiful days, even on days that awaken great love, the great love of God in and for you, there is still a battle that goes on for human souls every day and in every one in our settings. For every moment, we live in the force field of spirits, drawn one way or another by opposing spirits to greater expansiveness and magnanimity, greater openness, greater care, or just being shut down. That's the battle. And you don't need to look very far in yourself or in the world or in the news to see it going on. But it's a battle we need not fear, for it has already been won. It was won when Christ came out of the tomb. And even when forces of hatred or division seem to overpower everything else, we need not fall into despair or sadness or have heavy hearts on those days when darkness seems so much greater than light. What we need to do is just keep our hearts and our eyes and our ears open. Listen, watch, hear. For we live in a spirit-infused world where God's loving Spirit inhabits and infuses every moment and works in every life and in every place and in all that is. And moments can, will, and do come when this awareness, when this beauty shines through everything else. Moments come when the inundation of love fills you, and you just know everything your heart most needs. Amen.